Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I want to do Daphne Bridgerton's makeup. It's basically a no makeup look, and I've never done that on my channel, so I thought this would be a good opportunity to do it since I'm definitely on a Bridgerton kick right now. I did Penelope's makeup and Francesca's makeup because season 3 part 1 just came out, and had a couple requests for Daphne's. And of course, I just started rewatching season 1 because I was like, haven't seen this in a while. And yeah, I was mesmerized by the beautiful no makeup. So I want to try and recreate it. Season 1 obviously came out a while ago, so a lot of the products have been like revealed by the makeup artists, and there's no shortage of tutorials out there, but I'll give my own tips and tricks for how I make this look work for me, because at the end of the day, I think recreating looks is all about how you're going to take the essence of a look and make it work with your features and your coloring, right? So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. I would not say that Daphne looks particularly glowy or dewy. I think her skin just really looks skin-like. It's not super matte, not super glowy, but just very healthy looking. Now, with the no makeup look, I want to just preface something about like coverage and foundation. A lot of people will say, go for a very light coverage. And I certainly understand the conceit and understanding behind that. But if you're someone like me who really just feels their best with fuller coverage, don't think that you can't achieve the no makeup look while also accommodating your desire for more than just like a skin tint, right? So personally, I will be laying down more coverage in general, but you do what works for you to just achieve a base that feels very skin-like. I will start with the Hollywood Flawless filter because this creates a very hydrated base, but this is like the extent of the glow, just really laying down something that's going to make all the products like blend really nicely on top of the skin. So you could also just be very well moisturized. If you have oily skin, I'd skip the glow. I actually recreated Daphne's makeup look a long time ago when the series first came out. And while I think I got a good picture, when I tried to recreate it again for YouTube with my other channel with my mom, I had to delete that because I went way overboard with the brows and everything. And when I look back on it, I'm like, no, what were you thinking, girl? So if you saw that by chance, here's my redo. So for foundation, I'm going to use the Urban Decay Face Bond. This is in the shade 3 Fair Warm. Interestingly, this foundation, bear with me when I first apply it, because sometimes it doesn't look like amazing when I first apply it, but it settles so nicely. So if you're like, why did she choose that? Just give it some time throughout this video, okay? This foundation's really interesting because you can build it up to like a good coverage, but it's kind of thin. I don't know, you have to work quickly. It's really different. This shade match is definitely on my fairer side. Probably not something that'll work in the depths of summer if you have a similar skin tone to me. So this canvas now is quite fair and blanked out, but I'm going to add a little bit of extra coverage with the NARS Radiant Creamy and Chantilly. Basically getting to the point where I feel like the foundation and concealer isn't like baked on, but I do really want that flawless base. If you have really good skin, you can just do this in 2 seconds, but alas, I do not. Now, just like Francesca has these cheekbones that are really just like emphasized under here, as does Daphne. I'm going to go in with a bronzer for this one actually, because I don't want anything too, I don't know, obvious, out of place. Just basically a really soft emphasis right here. Go with your natural cheekbones. With Daphne, yeah, they've really just achieved this idea that she doesn't have any makeup on. She looks a little bit more like someone would look in an authentic period piece. This is Rare Beauty, Bright Side. Just a little soft emphasis. Going forward, we have the crucial pieces of the Daphne puzzle, essentially, which is a good brow game, a little bit of blush, and that kind of stained lip effect. These are really like the three pieces to achieving this look. Now, they have used on set, I believe it's the Stila blush in Lilium. It's a pretty neutral blush. I do not have it. I'm going to be using the Milk Lip and Cheek Tint in Work. This is a fairer blush than I usually use. Even though I'm a very fair person, I like a deep blush, but we're gonna really focus it here in the front, almost just like as if your face is this flat canvas and we're not really paying attention to the curves of it. I may build this up a little later, we'll see. But in general, Daphne actually looks quite, at times, washed out. I'm opting for her look where she has, for the balls and stuff, where she has more color. Okay. It's painful for me to leave it at such a small amount of blush, but for now, I'm keeping it as she had it, which was really not a lot. Okay, brow game. Brow game, brow game. This is where I went wrong when I previously had done this look. I was really trying to fight against my natural brows and get a brow similar to her. She's got epic brows, the actress. I'm going to honor my brow shape as much as possible, but I am going to go a touch darker and bring a little bit more structure to sort of the front end because she has these structured brows. And I feel like that's how she, I don't know, she really gets to pull off this no makeup because she's got this gorgeous frames happening to her face. I will be going in with a brow powder at first and then a pencil for detail. My usual brow powder, the Anastasia Beverly Hills in caramel, but I'm going straight into the darker one. First things first, I'm just gonna fill in my natural structure and start thinking about creating a decent kind of a line happening here like this. And then filling upwards from there. And where I really want to give that nod to Daphne is at the front end of the brow by adding a little bit more support to the front half, the top front half. This is my brow. This is how I'm working with my brow. You do you. But don't be afraid to use this as an opportunity to try a stronger brow. So starting on this line, the bottom, and working up to fill. Sometimes I get nervous about doing a darker brow, but they honestly look pretty damn good in pictures. Going in with the Kosas brow pencil in the shade Taupe. This is where I'm going to opt for a little bit more of a square here. And be wary of this step. There's a very fine line between overdoing this and underdoing it. And if you do overdo it a little, just go with your spoolie and soften it out. I'm going to make sure I have a bit more of that strong lower line here. a clear brow gel to hold everything in place. If you want to brush up a couple extra here, that'll help with the blend. Now, lastly, to aid in the emphasis of this stronger brow, I'm going to go in with a concealer. This is the NARS Soft Matte, and a little brush to brighten right under that line of the brow. If you have hair on your, what am I trying to say, on your brow bone, this isn't gonna look that good. When I've done it before and I hadn't plucked, the concealer going through the hair is not great. It kind of clings and stuff. So if you don't want to, or you like a messier brow or whatever, I'd skip this. Like even now I'm like, oh, I didn't see those hairs there until I put some concealer there. I'm going to blend this all through here. Daphne's eye makeup is very, very simple, and it's only 2 shades. Even the makeup artist has confirmed it. You're basically looking for just a soft crease definition with like a warm, very light neutral, or something with a touch of peach to it will work. In some shots you can really see it kind of casting pink, and other times it looks a little bit more tan in a way, but very, very soft crease definition, and then a touch of upper lash line definition, and that's really it. So I'm going to go with this shade here in the Natasha Denona My Dream Palette, this one. It's maybe a little bit more saturated than what she used, but like I said, accommodate this essence for what works for you. I just like the idea of it showing up a little bit more. And I'm going to start by softly laying it over most of the lid. And I think this type of shade, if you have fair skin, is a good choice for like no makeup or like period piece makeup, is because the pink or the peach almost looks like natural discoloration of the lid. However, you can focus it, right? Yeah, that's why it's a very good choice. Just all over the lid, just dusting it on. Now with a smaller brush, same shade, I'm going to focus it a touch more right there. Just work with your natural eye shape. I will also just dust a little bit of it here, barely there. This is so minimal for me, it's hilarious. Okay, and then a little bit of emphasis just here on the outer lash line. I'm gonna go for this shade in between the warm and the brown, like basically a taupe. If you look close, you can see this, but it's again one of those tricks where it looks like it could just be the shadow of her lash line. So just placing that emphasis right there. Frankly, it doesn't even look like it's on the whole lash line, it's just a little bit here. You know, emphasis for the lash line rather than a wing or something. And that's it. It is, yeah, just so minimal. Then for mascara, definitely a brown mascara. Her lashes almost have a look like they've been tinted. Like they show up on camera, but if she's anything like me with very, very pale lashes, yeah, it definitely needs a mascara. And I know they did use a mascara. It's just you don't want it to clump and look like you're wearing makeup. So I'm going in with the Thrive Liquid Lash Extensions in Crystal and working through the lashes just to make sure they show up. I like to get the back of my lashes. As someone with fair lashes, you can still see the light coloring on the the back side if I don't get both sides of the lash. Once again, this is very difficult for me to do so little makeup. Like, give me a half lash, please. That's it. You may wish to emphasize this a little more, and in fact I will, just a little bit. And a little bit on the lower lash line too. All right, we need some color on the lips to bring some life to this. Although I think you can probably tell just by how minimal this looks, and when you look back on some scenes, she doesn't even look like she's wearing a lip balm. In particular, when she's kind of upset or drawn, they don't give her that flush. This is really reserved for the ball scenes, but there's definitely enough pigment there that I feel like I can bring the life that I would like to this look. Now, I've seen that she's used a lip stain. I've seen some reports of the Pixie lip stain. I've seen the Benetint mentioned. The other day I was kind of playing with some lip tones and I used the Milk. This is the shade Chill. This is a little bright maybe, so I'm going to opt for the classic Benetint. And rather than go straight onto the lips, I'm going to go onto my finger first and start to bring some color there. This is the most obvious part of her look when she's wearing it. There is a decent amount of pigment going on. And in fact, you know what? I'm going to put it right on. I think this was the right choice because her lips look a touch more cool compared to the rest of her, soft, peachy eyes. So I am going to use a liner. This is from NYX Ever, I think. Look at it. It's my first lip liner I ever got. It's a little bit more muted. And I read that Pillow Talk was used, so. That looks so pretty. I do this little Pillow Talk. I'm tempted to just see how the tone plays. It's like a mini Pillow Talk. I'm going to kind of just pat it on top. Yeah, you can really see this just kind of adds the touch of mutedness to the brighter tint. And then I'm going to put a bit of a balm on. This is from Ilia. It's a tinted balm in Lady. It's a touch darker because, like in this photo, you can see that touch more saturation. And her lips always look really hydrated. I read that on set, like the main goal was to always make them look kissable. So not glossy, not wet, certainly not dry. Any kind of lip balm will do. This one just happens to have a little bit of tint to it. All right. And this is the finished makeup look. My Daphne Bridgerton no makeup. I mean, you don't need a keen eye to see that there is makeup on, but I don't know, if you're a man, you might not know, so you do you. Put as much touch more mascara and shading on this look as you'd like. Honestly, when I go about my day, I think I'm going to add a little bit more blush for my personal taste and up the mascara for it to be like what I like. But yeah, this is sort of the very in-between, subdued and a little bit more pigment. And I think it looks really nice and very like I'm ready to walk onto the set of Bridgerton maybe. Casting call out for a Canadian who falls in love with Benedict maybe. I don't know. Just putting it out there. Who knows? I really like this. I think it's nice to take a step back from doing heavy makeup sometimes because then I just like it all the more when I do it like the next day. Like, ooh, now I really want a bold red lip or something. So it's always nice to have those reset days where you just do something really light and natural. And I'm feeling this today. Okay, at the end of my videos, I tend to just start blah, 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 blabbing. But I did just finish rewatching season 1. Should I finish rewatching season 2 and do Kate's makeup? Season 2 is my absolute favorite. Kate and Anthony have palpable chemistry. They are my fave. Kate's makeup, I feel like she rocks a lot of like cat eye here, which I'm not sure will look good on me. But Edwina, on the other hand, she has a softer look to her, so maybe that would be more up my alley. But yeah, pop any requests down below. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to like, comment, and subscribe, it helps support the channel, helps me put out more videos. And until next time, may you find a little bit of makeup magic in the meantime, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, witches.